All right, everyone, welcome to the semester. So let's talk about AutoCAD. We're going to be using AutoCAD 2023. This should be on your desktop on your PC. It only takes a minute here to open up. Every time you restart your computers, realize that your entire desktop and everything might be reset. So you need to make sure you save your files when you are working in AutoCAD or on these PCs. This is my generic desktop here. You can see there's a learning area here. If you're ever looking for tips and tricks or some videos about the software, you can check that out here. There's also Autodesk Docs here if you wanted to sign into your Autodesk account. And this usually has your recent files that it will be right here. So a lot of recent files that you'll see if your computer has not been restarted. All right, we're going to go over to new. Once you're in new here, the area you see, you have an X and Y axis. We're working in two-dimensional drawing right now. And the center thing you see there is my crosshair. And I have a bigger crosshair than you, and we'll talk more about that as we go. So on here, up top here, this is your menu bar. On your menu bar, this is your graphical user interface. Home button and annotate. We'll be using these two areas the most throughout this semester here. With your home button, it first starts with all your draw tools up in the upper left there. So AutoCAD, you also have a command line down here at the bottom. So when I press the line command or line draw tool here, this creates a straight line segments. You can see it says it wants me to specify my first point, and it also tells me on here specify my first point. And this is on an X and Y axis right now, and you can see if I get closer to the X and Y axis, it gets closer to 0. And right now we are working in inches. So I can simply click, and start drawing some lines. And you can see some things come up here. If I wanted to tab to different settings or wanted to make a line at a certain degree, I could make a line at a certain degree. But right now I can just draw those lines out like nice and slow. And then let's say I wanted to delete this here. I can click from the lower right and drag up left. And notice what happens as I drag over here. It just selects two areas or two lines because those lines are what I'm touching right now. And if I click there, and you can see there, and I go to delete, it will just delete those lines. Now if I go from the upper right or upper left and I drag to the right with blue, you can see what happens here. It's not allowing me to, it's not selecting the line the same as it did with the green. But if I go over the entire line here, like so, if I go over the entire line, you can see it selects it. So the difference between dragging from the lower right and the upper left. You can also, like so, there. You can also do a, what's that called? Forget the name of it right now, a lasso. A lasso going around it if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to click from the lower right and go back up, and I'm going to delete. Now, other ways, so we clicked here on the draw tool for the line. Another way to get that command or draw symbol here for the line is L. And you can see as I type L on my keyboard, a whole list of things comes up here that I could possibly do. And obviously the most generic thing here is line. And you could type line all the way in here. And then if you press space or enter, that's going to start the command here. And let's say I want to start right here, and then I can click and drag. To close out of the command, I can escape, like so, ESC. If I want to start the same command again, all I have to do is press the space bar, and it starts the same command, the last command that you used. And you can see you also have some tasks coming up down here on your menu bar, down below, on your command line. Now to delete all this again here, I'm going to select it all from the lower right, and I'm going to go up top here, and I'm simply going to delete. Another way to delete, if I brought that back here, if I click on the line, like so, I can click, and press the delete symbol. Another way to do this here is the erase tool. I believe under modify here, you come up with, that's a spline. Don't see it under there. But anyways, the erase tool, delete objects here, erase, E-R-A-S-E, and you get a little eraser that pops up. Click on erase, and then it says select objects. I want to click that one, this one here, this one, and then press the space bar or enter, and it goes away. Oh, erase is right here. So I click there, and I select this object here, hit the space bar, and it goes away. If you make a mistake because you did not want to delete something, Control Z can fix that. Control Z. Or up here, you also have an undo button here. And you can see I can go back all the way to this area here if I want to. And you can redo all that if you wanted to. Undo and redo. You can also type in on your command line, undo, like so. And if I did that here, undo, it estimates, enter the number of operations. Let's say I want to go 10 steps back. And let's just type it again here. Let's see if it'll go 20 steps back and see where I'm at. But now I'm back at the very, very beginning. All right, so we just talked about the line tool. Let's talk about the circle tool. With the circle tool here, it says specify the center point for a circle. So I specify the center point, and now it says specify the radius. And I can just click and drag. And same thing again here, circle tool, click and drag, and I can make lots of separate circles here. Make a little Venn diagram. Now with my circles, I can also type in C for circle, and you could type in circle all the way if you wanted to. Hit enter, and then I could go for a circle. And I can start that command again by hitting the space bar and going again. Space bar, go again, and now I have lots and lots of circles. I'm going to delete these, so I select it all from the lower right, and then I press delete. You can also see there's a drop-down menu here. The generic way that we make a circle is with a radius. Then the secondary way that we will create a lot of circles is using the diameter. Now, if I click, type in circle here, circle, click, specify the center point. Then down here on my command line, it says specify radius of circle or diameter. And I can click on the diameter here, or I can type D, enter. Now it says specify the diameter of circle. Let's say I want to make a diameter of 20 inches. And there is a diameter of 20 inches on my circle. Right there. And same idea here, C, circle, and then specify center point. And let's say I want to make a diameter of, we'll go D for diameter, and I want to do a 50 or 40 to double that circle, 40. And then I can click if I wanted to, and I click and drag this to be a bit closer, just like so. This is 20 in diameter, this is 40 in diameter. Some other things here, a couple other things before we close out. This is your rectangle tool. Creates a rectangle polyline. So I can click here, specify first corner or point, and I click and I can drag up. And same idea here. I can click and start that command again with a space bar. And I go from the lower left or lower right and back up. Now also if you want to do a certain size rectangle, I can delete this here. And REC is your command, rectang, right there. Hit the space bar or enter, and then specify first point. I'm going to go right here. And then if I tab between the two of these here, notice I can type numbers. Like for example, I want to do 100 inches by, let's do this by 50. 100 by 50 right there. You can see there, I get my rectangle. There's 100 inches by 50 inches if it was full scale. So that's the rectangle. I'm gonna draw a few more circles real fast here just to demonstrate one more tool that you might want to use for your logo assignment. Up here, we have in the draw area here, you have your hatch. This fills an enclosed area or selected objects with a hatch pattern or fill. And there's a drop-down menu. You can also just click on the hatch here and some options come up. We will use this for different assignments. I'm going to start with solid. And you can see, for example, like if I wanted to fill this area in here, or this area, or this area. And then I can close my hatch creation, or you can enter to close that hatch creation too. For example, it only works on closed sections. So if I had a line kind of like this here, and all these random shapes, and I wanted to fill this area in right here, if I went to the hatch here, it's not going to let me fill this area in. This is not a closed boundary. And you can see it tells me what areas are not a closed boundary, but this is a closed boundary, and that's a closed boundary, so I can fill all of that area in. All right, that's a little introduction to AutoCAD. We'll talk more about our menu bar down here and the command line and the layouts. Something you're going to always make sure you do when using AutoCAD, especially on our PCs here at school, is you're going to want to go up to this AutoCAD symbol up top here, and you're going to go down to Save or Save As. So since this is my first time saving, I can go to Save As, and I'm going to make a folder, and I have a folder in my Documents right now, and I titled mine CAD Mech 1 Semester 2 2023. And I'm going to give my drawing a title here. This is Learning AutoCAD. And then I'm going to go 1.0 because this is my first version of this file. And then we're going to generically save it as a DWG. This will allow you to open it on any computer that has AutoCAD down to 2018. And then I can save that. And once your file is saved, you're good to go. You can also save your file up here, up top there. This saves the current drawing. I can also just type save on my command line and hit enter or space, and it will save that. Okay, that's the end of this video.